Welcome everyone to today's webinar, the Wisconsin MBA, Career Outcomes and Services. My name is Randy Parvin, Assistant Director of Admissions and Recruitment for the full-time MBA and MS programs. Before we get started, I want to go through some housekeeping issues with you. As an attendee, you don't have audio or video capabilities. This time, you should be able to hear my voice. If you can hear my voice, I'd appreciate it if you could raise your hand. And if you cannot hear my voice, please use the dial-in feature option on your phone. And I see some folks out there that raised their hand. Thank you, that kind of helps us out. This is meant to be an interactive session, so please feel free to ask your questions throughout the presentation using the Q&A icon at the bottom of your screen. And we'll discuss your questions at the end of our content. Lastly, this webinar is being recorded so that we can access the material in the future for yourself and other prospective students. Well, this webinar features Heather Stelzer, Assistant Director for the MBA Career Management Center. As an Assistant Director of the MBA Career Management Center, Heather is responsible for career coaching, communication strategy, and internship training, as well as MBA student internship and job placement efforts. Heather will be telling us about the success of our 2018 graduates and discuss the services we offer to students to make their internship and job search successful. Heather, thanks for joining us, and please go ahead.
Thank you so much, Randy, and welcome everyone. We're excited to have you on our webinar today, whether you're joining us live or you're listening to the recording. Before we dig in, I thought that I would set up a little bit of context around our material today. And the best way to do that is to share a little bit about our philosophy here within our Career Management Center in the full-time MBA program. We as a center have a very high commitment to the success of all of our students. And if you haven't been aware of that yet, we all share that feeling throughout the program office. There are four main areas of focus within our philosophy that are a part of our overall service to students. During our time together on this webinar, I'm going to be touching base with you on these areas over the next several minutes. And those are the partnership that you will witness between yourself and our Career Management Center, as well as your Specialization Center. Career coaching services that I'll kind of touch on that we provide to you. Preparation that you will receive in the space of networking and overall interview preparation. And then I'll be touching a little bit on our recruitment process, specifically to the results that our 2018 class witnessed. So I'm going to dig in and talk a little bit about partnership. This is something that's going to be a part of your entire program here in our full-time MBA program. Partnership. Your success through your career strategy is going to be a partnership that you will witness between yourself, our career team, as well as your center staff. And we are going to work very, very closely with you to be able to embrace best opportunities that you find specific and relevant to your internship search and overall employment. And that's going to hone in on three areas: overall communication, your networking, and then also just overall employer relationships. I will be very forthright and honest. Your overall openness and communication right from the very beginning can have an incredible impact and make a very direct difference in your overall experience. Students that join our program that engaged right from the beginning can hone those interests, which will assist in the overall partnership between student, center, and staff. Now, what you can count on us here in the Career Management Center as a part of our partnership are three things, minimally. We will be your advocates. So our jobs within our Career Management Center exist because you do. We are working with you and for you to make this the experience that you hope for. You can also count on us for being available. You are definitely our priority in all things that we manage and work on. So letting us know how you'd like to connect, when you'd like to connect. We move things around for our students in order to be available on our end. We definitely want to make sure you know you have the support as you go through the program. And then lastly, truthful. We know that you are quality students. We know that you have worked hard in your past, in your experience, as well as in your application process and getting into the program. So we will push you to help you figure out how best to showcase your uniqueness to your career advantage. We challenge you. We are going to work side by side with you, and we're going to share truths in order to help you to improve yourself as an overall internship candidate, employment candidate, and an overall business leader. Now, as a part of this partnership, we will need to count on you for a few things. The first thing is to be your own advocate. We won't know when you need help unless you ask when you need it. And really being open to what you're looking for, what you'd like to experience, and just that overall communication strategy right from the get-go, being able to express what you're looking for and being your own advocate will help a great deal. Being present. Now this means a couple of different things. Obviously, being present in body, being here, going to your classes, coming to our program office, having that open communication, but also just the overall mindset, being active. We're going to show you ways that you can kick off the overall career strategy right when you get to campus, and being able to follow through with those strategies and be very involved in your overall first year internship search. And then lastly, willing to help others. We have a very high-touch community within this full-time MBA program. We are all about helping each other out. You will notice that the first time you step on our campus, and we expect that of you, our future students, in regards to the overall partnership, both now with your specialization class, with your overall first year, with your relationships with faculty and staff, and then also after you graduate and are alum. Now I'm going to move into career coaching and topics that I'm going to share a little bit with you over the next several minutes that talk about the coaching relationships with our students and what we sort of go over, provide during your time here in our program, just to give you a better visualization with the coaching support that you will receive. So we will spend the beginning part of your time during our coaching relationships just sort of teaching you overall strategies on how to not only charter your job search, your internship search, but also kind of get a better sense of companies that sort of fit your interests. Some of you will come in with specific companies that you have interest in and you would like to explore and research, and some may not, and that's okay. So, but being able to do this right from the get-go, going back to that conversation of partnering with our office, communication, and being open to different ideas will help in your overall start. We also help you make alumni connections. So going back to exploring companies, if there are specific companies you're involved you're interested in, or specific industries within your specialization, we're able to help connect you with alumni, and we honestly encourage that right away. We will talk more about this when you are involved in our program, but we help you set up informational interviews. It's a big part of just learning how to network and learning how to make connections, and it's a great way to learn. It's a great way to learn how to chart out that job search, how to dig into researching companies that you might be interested in. This is all a part of that overall strategy. We also will spend some time right away in your first semester talking through interview strategies, preparing you for specific industries that you're interested in. I'm going to go into more detail as we talk about the actual plan and preparation part of your time here. We actually kick off resume review and development this summer before you even step on campus. Again, going back to that high touch environment of what we're able to do for you, we want to make sure that you are ready for success, and having a resume built that can be viewed by employers is something that we take very seriously, and we navigate right away before you even step on campus. And then a few other things that we do for you through our coaching is we help you navigate online tools. A big part of networking with our technology today is through social media. And so we teach and explore different ways to utilize LinkedIn and different services that our program offers in a space of online tools. And then last but definitely not least, helping you manage your brand, helping you show a distinct difference of how you are set aside from other candidates that might be looking at similar roles. So this just gives you a little bit of visualization on our overall coaching strategy during your time here. What I'd like to do next is I want to move into sort of the overall plan and preparation that takes place during your time in our program. And your plan really is broken into 3 sections. It'll be your first year, your internship, which separates your first and your second year, and then coming back for your second year of the program. As I mentioned just minimally, we actually start our students out with career preparation already this summer. We like to investigate and discover your strengths and your interests, if you are aware of what those might be, through developing your resume and getting a better understanding of who you are as best we can before meeting you. So that when you walk on our campus for orientation, you are ready to go with that document. During orientation, you have a splash of career built right into your program, and we work on helping you identify your story and who you are as a full-time MBA student. We have a program that's built for you over your 2 years, and we have a document that we give you right away called our Career Management Guide. That is a great resource for you to utilize during your time here. We also offer a Strengths Finder class during orientation, which begins that development of leadership and opens your eyes to areas of strengths that you might not even be aware of. And then we dig into preparing you for that internship search. Believe it or not, we do that right away at the beginning of your program. The week you start class as an MBA student, you'll also be enrolled in an interview training program. It runs 4 to 6 weeks with your career coach, and we investigate and teach how to prepare for a typical MBA interview. Over the course of that 6 to 8 weeks at the beginning of your program, you're going to be able to receive a really great path on how to develop your overall soft skills and personal development skills to be able to handle yourself in different networking opportunities and interviews. After we go through that interview training, many of our specializations will go through different specialized training for interviews. Some of our students see case interviews or specific marketing type of interviews. And so we want to, again, be able to help our students be as equipped as possible. After the interview training program, you'll go through something called mock interview training. And this is where our incredible boards and alumni base get involved and again, assist you in that preparation. Going back to my point earlier, we are a very hands-on, high-touch program, and we want to do everything in our power to make you successful. A big part of your first semester is going to be understanding this whole concept of MBA networking. It is something that all of you will have immediate exposure to, and going back to, again, our purpose, we want to make sure you're prepared. So we hold networking workshops, practice, different events here on campus and within our business program that allow you to get exposure in that so that you are prepared for things that you'll see down the pipeline. And then overall, just a job search strategy. Your career coaches are here for you to help develop that. And throughout your first year, moving into the second semester as well, we move into one-on-one coaching to help you really truly understand how to personally brand yourself, develop yourself individually so that you can set yourself apart in these interviews. Your first year, you go through a lot, learning how to be a full-time student again, learning how to expose yourself to different levels of business acumen, and then also how to really develop yourself as a leader in the business world. And these are all things that we expose you to over that first year. After your first year, you'll be fulfilling your summer internship. Most programs are roughly 10 to 12 weeks. And after that time, you come back to complete your program, and we'll dig a little bit into what your second year looks like. We start every second year student off with a recap in an internship discussion with their career coach. We call these intake appointments. These are incredible for a few reasons. We really get to reflect on what your experience was like. Maybe you are a career switcher or a partial pivot business person, and so your exposure over the summer was something brand new to you. So we get to really dig in on different things that you've been exposed to, skill sets that you've developed, and sort of build your second year strategy on that experience. It is a very individualized program your second year. So we do a lot of job search and personal development coaching and prep, specifically that very first semester when you come back. We run applied learnings and mock interviews, again, with alum and board members that are specifically preparing you for the industry that you're hoping to delve into. We also do a great deal of networking. Many of our second years take advantage of the national career fairs. I'm going to touch on those in just a minute. And so, rotating into that last semester as a full-time MBA student, we're really working on leadership development training that allow you to really expand your overall network within the business world. It goes beyond just that post-MBA job that you're searching for and really delving into what type of business leader you want to be post and beyond MBA. So I hope this kind of gives you a bit of foreshadowing and visuals on, specific to the Career Center and how we will partner with you during your journey here in the full-time MBA. Now I want to move into recruitment and how our office leverages recruitment opportunities for our students. We are very active with many companies in many different facets. And so I want to just talk a little bit about each of those facets and what you can prepare for depending on the specialization that you're coming into or considering. One way that employers partner with us is through information sessions. We have quite a few employers that come on campus to get in front of students and talk about their company, talk about the positions they normally or typically hire for when it comes to internships or full-time jobs. Just gives the students a really great opportunity to just expand their knowledge, companies that they maybe haven't considered or have heard of or thought about. It's just a great way to be exposed to quite a bit of that, workforce out there. And we have those informational sessions that kind of happen mostly in the fall, but can happen all school year round. And sometimes those information sessions are followed by on-campus interviews, or companies are coming on campus just to interview for internships or full-time jobs. This will vary based on our specialization model and based on industry. There are some industries that recruit MBAs on campus or at career fairs, and there are some that do a lot of networking with students through the Career Center, but do their interviews and hiring either online, via the phone, or at their company site. Companies also choose to host employer dinners. So this is something also we help set with the logistics, and this is a way for companies to really get to know our current student body. They know our program, they know the caliber of education our students are receiving, they know just the kind of students that our program graduates, but it's just again, a high-touch opportunity where employers can meet students and visualize, who they may potentially hire. Another part of our Career Management Center that we really focus on are career fairs. There are national MBA career fairs available for programs all over the country. They're very competitive. Companies across the country sometimes choose just to go to career fairs or to go to campuses to do their recruitment. And so we definitely recommend students consider these as a part of their search. It is an incredible way to network quickly with a multitude of companies. And these are normally in the fall, both your first year and your second year, with a few that are available in the second semester. Along with these career fairs, you'll be exposed to just an overall number of different networking events and specific specialization events that your center puts on, that puts you in front of different alumni, board members, people that support the program, want to be involved with the program. And going back to our coaching strategy and our service overall, we want to make sure that you're prepared for those. So again, networking is vital for our MBAs. It's a learned skill, and we put a lot of time and effort into making sure that our students feel comfortable. And last but not least, I do want to spend just a minute or two on some employment stats that we have. Just from our previous class that graduated in 2018, one of my favorite parts is talking about the success of our students, both current and those that have gone on into the working world. These are some of the metrics that we report for ratings and ones that we like to share with students that are considering our program or considering a full-time MBA. You can see up on the screen our base salary average and median, as well as our average signing bonus that students receive with their full-time job offers. The two that I really am excited to share with you are the last two. Percentage of our class employed within 3 months of graduation, 90%. And 93% of our graduating class from 2018 had an offer by graduation, which is just incredibly exciting. And last but not least, our pre-MBA to post-MBA salary increase was this past year 71%. And over the course of the last several years, it's been consistent right around that percentage. Now, who recruits our UW MBAs for internships and full-time positions? We have a plethora of companies across the country that recruit our students. And we also have companies that come back year after year because they know the type of student they're going to receive through the recruitment process. And by a show of these companies, I want to make one point. We have great relationships with companies that are here local in the Wisconsin and Midwest, because many students, whether they're from the Midwest or they come from other places across the world, across the country, they fall in love with the Midwest and they want to stay. And so companies like Johnson Controls, SC Johnson, Northwestern Mutual, companies that have a presence within this area, like to recruit our students, and our students like to be recruited by them. But then we also have companies on the East Coast, on the West Coast, down south, Facebook, Amazon, Royal Caribbean, Intuit, Dell, just to name a few, that have relationships with us. So I hope this gives a glimmer of how our Career Management Center partners with the students that are here within our program. This is a very big part of the journey of the full-time MBA student as they map out their search for their internship, have that experience, and then come back and pave the way for their full-time employment. So at this point in time, I just want to say thank you, and we'd like to be able to open up some time for questions.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks, Heather, and thanks for this great information that you've given. And I hope everyone's gotten something valuable out of it. If you have questions, it's on the lower part of your Q&A. And we do have a question here, Heather. It says, I'm an international student that is interested. Will I be able to find a job in the US?
That's a really great question, and one that we receive often, so thank you for asking.
Yeah.
We take this part of our program at a very high regard. We did do a little bit of research in preparation for this on our international student class from 2018. And again, the percentage of people that were just searching were not just international students. All of our international students from last class also received job offers within that 3-month time frame. So we definitely work very diligent with our international students on a multitude of things in regards to the networking, career search, internship search, so on and so forth. So while we don't make any promises in our program, we work very diligently to help our students find both an internship and a full-time job after. The really great thing about our program is our alumni base, and we have an incredible alumni base, both domestic and international, that work really well with our international student body.
Okay, terrific. Thank you. Heather, we do have time for a couple more questions. We've only got a couple minutes, but we've got another question. A couple of our specializations are STEM designated. Can you talk about the benefit of that for the student from the employer's perspective?
Yes, and we can definitely follow up on this if there are any students that have very specific questions when it comes to STEM, what programs are STEM focused, and how that changes in the job market. We have a great deal of employers that are searching for STEM designated students. So we are very competitive in this space. Our program is one of few that has that STEM designation, which definitely ups the competitive level and the interest of employers for our students, specifically in our technology and operations space. It also can be very attractive for our international students that join our school and are searching for companies that are STEM designated, which allows them to work in the US for longer than that initial first year. So it's definitely a great opportunity for students that are looking at our program because we are STEM designated.
Yeah. Well, hey, we're right at 10:30, and again, Heather, thank you for joining us today. And I want to thank everyone else out there. I know it's a busy time of year, and thank you for everyone out there for learning a little bit more about the Wisconsin MBA and career outcomes. If you have questions that come up to you as you're, as you're reflecting on this webinar, please feel free to reach out to us. The email for our program is mba@wsb.wisc.edu, and that was mba@wsb.wisc.edu. Have a great day, everyone, and on Wisconsin.